Thank you. So Robbie and I will be kind of tag teaming this as we will tomorrow. Not going to be painful, not going to be all that long, but just focused on stuff that we've found more important during these COVID times, and just kind of some things are a little bit out of the box, some things that are just tweaked a little bit differently as we're dealing with everything, and just not having the normal functional fitness center up and running. So do have a PowerPoint. It's only 11 slides, and we just hope it gets to be a little interactive. If people have ideas and input, please, you're welcome to share it. So with that, I will pull up my slides. And everybody could see it, right? Okay, good to go. So these creative functional spaces and pandemic restrictions, what can be some ideas to fit this current climate that we're in? So number one, it's from Allison's Home Turf, just functional fitness rooms that are allowing people to do some group X activities, some small group, and just work out in general, but be properly distanced, have their own stations, and get a wide variety of workouts from a smaller amount of equipment. So, you know, we're very much into multifunctional pieces, a lot of different exercises for one piece of equipment, rather than, hey, this is one thing you could do on one piece. So, you know, we have some very robust rooms like this across the state and from person membership. And this is all indoors right now that we're looking at, but this is kind of from the top down, programming the piece of equipment that you need and the accessories that kind of fulfill everything. So I don't just want to seem like it's like, hey, look at this nice room. There is programming that goes with it, so you could still run group classes, 3 different kinds that kind of fit every kind of different fitness level or experience level. And these rooms look kind of similar, but they offer different solutions for different spaces. But it is all college recreation, very focused on that, and just giving that same group experience that you might have in normal times, but you could do it just a little more efficiently and spaced out with some of these spaces. So this is an example from Millersville. I mean, you could see the kind of things that are in there, traditional kind of cardio pieces, benches, all functional materials, turf lane, plyo boxes, med balls. These are all things that have just many, many, many uses, and that you could turn into and really get creative with some of the things that you're doing. And if we go to the next slide, this is one of Robbie's customers. And Robbie, tell them there.
This is Slippery Rock University, and kind of a good backstory here. We originally had planned to do a anchored frame, similar frame that's anchored to the floor, but we found out through that process that they have a core slab. This is on the 2nd floor of their facility. They had a core slab with tension cables running through it. So an anchored frame wasn't an option. That's what we went to, the freestanding frame. And this was definitely a solution for them. It gives them the option to, you know, run HIIT training in a room that's about 1,400 square feet. And again, they can be, you know, people are within the program, they're spaced in stations, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4, which allows them to be spaced out and run their HIIT training just within one, you know, 1,400 square foot area. This is Robert Morris, and this was actually a new build. This was their new recreation center. It was built in 2017. I thought this was a good illustration of one of our HTS frames. And what they did was they actually had the zones put on the floor, which I thought was a really neat idea that gives each person their space. And as the instructor comes in, they could say, zone 1 is core bag, zone 2 is TRX, zone 3 is slam ball, zone 4 is gripper. And everybody gets that process, and it kind of moves them through in a fluid sequence, and allows the instructor to really get a lot of training done in a short amount of time. Some of the classes that are offered in Move It and BattleFit, they're 30-minute classes. So when people want to come in at lunchtime and do it or something like that, there's short time. So it's easy to have everything pre-planned out, ready to roll. This is Indiana University of Pennsylvania. And the challenge here was they needed a space to run functional fitness and HIIT training, but space was limited. This is a racquetball court, and we were able to run it, run a 20-foot HTS there with some ball targets, a heavy bag, rope pull, battle ropes, all within one area, with the ability that knowing that during a warm up and warm down of the Move It or BattleFit or Hit the Deck program, that the beginning phases you warm up and they want to be able to jog around the frame, which you'll see in a video later on that we have. So that centered frame allows them to do that as part of their warm up and warm down, but also run the training under the middle. This is actually West Virginia University, and this was a Group X room that was transformed into a functional training room, very similar to what Josh did at Millersville. And again, just another idea of it's a larger space that used a HTS2 frame. So it's got 2 overhead trusses that can have TRX connected to them, or boxing bags, and then a few other, and they store their accessories on the outside so those things aren't cluttering up around the room.
Yeah, really nice space. And I think Robbie might send an invite to our neighbors in West Virginia for some of these calls for PIRSA. So you might have shared that, Dan, just so you know.
The nice thing about that frame is too, if you go back there, those double doors right on the outside there. So what they found was on nice days, if they're not using TRX, they could take their tools, whether it be their core bags, Bulgarian bags, slam balls, and they can go right out those double doors on the side to a grass area and run their classes outside. That was kind of an inadvertent benefit to it, that the room actually had outside access right off that door.
Yes, and it brings up a good point. These turf lanes that we've shown in pretty much all these slides, you could roll them up like a carpet, take them outside, and really give yourself some diversified training, whether it be with a sled, these tires, just if you have a grassy area, or maybe it's a parking lot, you could still take it outside and do some of these movements and really make things multifunctional. So kind of a cool option there.
Some spaces that have had, they'll use them on a gym floor too, if they can roll them out on the gym floor.
And I know it's all about kind of space in this environment and where do we have open space, and a lot of times it's a gymnasium floor or outdoors that you could be properly distanced at. So thanks to our friends down south, because our company goes all the way down to Florida, they have a lot more time to be outdoors, which, so far this year, I know it's going to be over 70 degrees here in PA today. And it's, and it's another great option to have classes outside and have that be a multifunctional kind of solution, is using the outdoors. So we've been doing a lot of that, especially down south. And this slide kind of shows that we have these storage carts that you could roll in and out and take all the gear you might need to run these kind of classes, whether it be kettlebells, med balls, core bags, sandbags, ladders, agility hurdles, sleds, the turf, that it doesn't have to be a giant hassle, that, we even have these carts that are lockable and you can kind of roll in and roll out. And it brings up a good solution to what do you do outdoors? I mean, in PA, you really don't see a lot of these permanent or semi-permanent outdoor spaces, but they're out there. And if you have the outdoor space, I know our friends here at Westchester have a great mezzanine outside that they do have access to. Not everybody has that, but we see spaces like these. This is from North Carolina, so that's just artificial turf right outside. You could see the traditional fitness center inside the garage doors there. treadmills, step mills, whatever they need, but they, brought a wind bike outside, a couple of plyo boxes and tools that they could run some outdoor classes in. And you could have 20 people. If you're outdoors, it's much easier to manage those numbers. So, and it brings that sense of normalcy. My YMCA is doing this right now with a lot of different Les Mills classes and just taking them outside. And these are the kind of spaces that we've been outfitting more and more of, especially since this time started. There's another shot of that kind of space. It's not all that much square footage. That's probably a 35-foot by 20-foot area where they could manage pretty much all of their group classes. If they had spin bikes nearby there, they could do that there too. So this could be on a gymnasium. This could be outside. It just opens up these kind of options to where it wouldn't be all that difficult to manage it. So a really cool shot there. And the next slides are actually from New York. And this is just going to be a mezzanine outside of a fitness center that's on Long Island. So you could see that we have indoor and outdoor options. This doesn't have to be all strictly indoor. A lot of, even these frame stuff can be made to be outside, don't have to be bolted down. You can move them how you want to, and that's all completely certified to be safe, effective, all that. You don't have to be indoors and bolting things down to a floor. Another shot of that one. So in spaces like these, and like we saw from, these are in North Carolina, I believe, yeah, 15 or 20 people out there and actually run a traditional Group X class, no matter what you might be doing, body combat, step, pump, or even spin classes in these kind of flex spaces. So there's some ideas out there that a lot of people haven't seen yet, but they're getting more and more popular, especially in the warmer climates. But right now we're almost in mid-November and we still have some mild temperatures here. So, you could offer that for a lot of students. And I know that people are taking off for Thanksgiving. So we're almost getting to that end of the semester to where you could cater that to a lot of days outside. So we thought it'd be interesting just to show a couple of these ideas, but not an open presentation, want to just create some discussion and take any questions. And Robbie, if you have anything to add about any of the outdoor spaces, I know we have a video too. That's like 2 minutes.
No, I think the really cool thing is the ones from North Carolina were actual pictures and these are actual 3D renderings, and it's hard to tell the difference. They're really good, these 3D renderings that Jess has been able to put together for us.
Yes, this is not even actually a picture, which is pretty cool. But this is just an overview of, all these spaces, they look great. How do people actually use them? And this is from Robert Morris, right, Robbie?
Yeah, and one of the things about this video is, so with any of the programs that we run, or even if you just plan on doing the room, but you want to know how to create your own programming, we're blessed to have we've got a master trainer, Kim Hamilton, who was a former strength and conditioning coach at Cornell University. She's a national judge for the CrossFit Games. And she's really in tune with HIIT training, and she actually goes on site when we put one of these facilities in. You have the ability to bring her on site, and she runs an 8-hour training program with all of your instructors or your in a high school she does it with faculty, staff, and coaches. If a high school buys the Move It programming and education that comes along with it. So this is a video, an illustration of her at Robert Morris running her portion of it. But I think to add a benefit to, you buy the tools, you buy the products, you can go online and watch, escape YouTube videos. But the bottom line is it's just like having a coach. When she comes in and teaches you various ways to use the products, certainly the safe ways to use the products, because there's wrong ways and right ways. And she really does a great job of being able to illustrate how you can use the tools and how you can build programs around them.
Not a very long video.
Is Josh there? Did we lose him?
I think we did lose Josh. I don't see him on the call anymore. Are you able to pull up that video on your end, Robbie?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Okay.
Give me a second here. He said his battery died on his computer. So Josh is out officially. He's in his car driving to an appointment. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
No. Do you have the share screen, the green button at the like bottom of your Zoom?
Let me see. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right, let me see if I can get rid of that. We good there now?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Were you able to see the video?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You want to take the screen back now? Be able to.
Yes. I think on your side, you might have to hit stop share at like the top of your screen.
Yeah, let me see. Where is it? Okay.
Yep.
So I think that video is a good illustration of Kim coming in, running the program, giving you an idea of how it's run. Again, 30 and 45-minute classes. When you think about in terms of quantity, you can run a class that's 6 people. I know people are running 6 or 8 right now, but you can build your infrastructure facility to run up to 30 at some point, which some people have in terms of like the WVU room that you saw and even the Millersville room. And I think at this point, just probably open up for discussion. If anybody's got questions about the programs, the frames, the indoor and outdoor use of the products, or the on-site training, I think it's, maybe that's where we end it.
I guess maybe I'll ask Scott, like, how many like institutions are like having in-person group X, or are people only doing virtual right now? Like, how many are actually allowing it in the building or outside even?
Some of the larger institutions are still running Group X. A lot of it's been outdoor. I work in Western Pennsylvania and also in West Virginia, Southern West Virginia, like Marshall, some of the other schools down there, they have a little bit better weather. They're able to do more outdoor, even WVU. Here in Western Pennsylvania, I think Group X has been really limited. And that's where, the conversation we're going to have tomorrow about virtual programming has been a really hot topic lately, because universities are trying to find a solution to provide their students that is, in accordance or congruence with their student activity fee that they pay. So they want to be able to offer something. And if they can't offer everything they can, sometimes like a Wellbeats or an Advogym, where, okay, we're going to spend a dollar, a couple of dollars a month on a student, per student, goes a long way in saying, look, we're going to offer these things to you virtually now, and maybe we continue it into the future, maybe we don't, but the virtual programming is a big topic right now. It's been something I'm having numerous conversations about. The Group X training, a lot of people are doing things outdoors if they can. That's what we're seeing, is people taking things outside, because I don't know, from facility to facility, whether it's less restrictions, or they just don't have the capability to space people out within their facility, whether it's on a gym floor, maybe, but in their Group X rooms, they just don't have that option. I'd really like to hear from you guys in what term, and what everybody's doing on the call.
One question I had real quick too, this is Allison from Millersville, is you showed that lockable cart that
Yep.
folks are taking. Where do people typically leave it, or is it just whatever they need, where they need it type thing?
Yeah, usually it's where they need it. I know WVU has theirs right inside the door. Penn State Fayette actually did a racquetball court conversion. And I think they keep everything in it, and they'll roll it out for their classes, or they actually don't have a ton of space, so their athletic teams will use that room. And so the coaches will be able to roll it out, but it's lockable. So it's not normally left outside. I will say that it's normally somewhere inside the door.
Gotcha. Thanks.
I can talk about what Westchester's doing right now for group exercise class, and kind of like how it's changed over the course of the semester. We started out, we're offering group exercise class in person, but it wasn't in any studios. It was only on our basketball court. It was 12 by 12 kind of areas that were taped off on the floor. and we just had a max of, I believe it was 24 participants on any court and 1 instructor. That's kind of how we started out. We added some virtual classes as it went along. I want to say about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Westchester went into a state of emergency, the borough itself, and we kind of had a discussion about if we were going to continue in person or move just to virtual. We ended up continuing in person as kind of offered to begin with. We just required that like masks were on at all times in your kind of area. But that's kind of where we were at. I think moving to the basketball court with like super high ceilings, it made group exercise, or it allowed group exercise to be approved on our campus. And I think we're really working to try and offer more virtual classes in the spring. But that's just kind of 2 cents where we're at. I'm curious to see what everybody else is doing as well.
Hi, I can go. I'm Karina Evans. I'm the director at Widener University, and we're still currently closed. We were scheduled to open mid September, and then we've decided to stay closed. So honestly, right now, our Group X is a bust. We are not doing very well at all. In a traditional semester, we're only allowed to hire student instructors. We don't have any kind of exercise science program, so we don't really have a large pool of students to pull from in the first place. So right now, we're just offering 2 virtual classes. They're from our yoga and a martial arts class from 2 students that taught with us prior to our closure, but they're just doing it via Zoom. They're getting maybe 1 to 2 participants a class. We haven't been able to recruit many new instructors to come on. So we're just kind of promoting other online places where people can go and take classes, obviously reputable places, but our Group X is basically tanked right now, to be honest.
I can go for Millersville. For Group X, we were only allowed to go outside. So we tried a bunch of different stuff. We tried like a Zumba on the tennis courts, we just had to get creative. It was kind of hit or miss because there's not too many people on campus. We tried a little bit of the virtual stuff and dabbled in that. And then we just got approval to partner with our Title IX coordinator to do a trauma-informed yoga inside, but we had to measure it out similar to how Dan was saying. So Group X hasn't been too much otherwise. The yoga, we're also streaming on Zoom, so we've been getting some attendance there, but yeah, kind of a bust, I would say otherwise.
Hi, everyone. This is Erica. I'm the coordinator of fitness and wellness at the University of Pennsylvania in Philly. We have about 40 virtual classes right now that we're offering, but that includes some of our student instructors that we had on campus previously, but also our strength and conditioning team for athletics because, they can't do anything. We're basically completely shut down. So we've partnered with them to offer some group exercise classes, and we went back and forth as far as how to price the classes for students and the other staff and community members. And basically we're offering the group exercise classes for free as of now, which we didn't do previously when we first started this, but we've seen that attendance has waned and lessened over the past few weeks. I don't know if people are just over Zoom, group exercise classes or what, but I would say over the past 3 weeks or so, we've seen our numbers go down, where when we first offered all of the classes for free, we had 30 people in each class or something. And now our HIIT classes and body pump are the most popular. They have maybe 15 people in them, but then other classes, it'd be less than 10 or 5, things like that. So that's where we're at, but we're definitely completely closed and don't know when we're coming back.
I think one of the things is, as as we, you know, showed you the pictures of the universities around, I don't think HIIT training or functional fitness training is going anywhere. You know, I've been doing this for, 8 years now, and it was a trend that came in really 5 years ago, and it's steadily growing. I just don't see it going anywhere. So I think in the long term, as I look at where functional fitness and HIIT training is going, is universities and colleges looking for space to actually run those programs. So it's, you know, even though you can't do it now, I feel like it's a good time to explore that option to say, okay, if we're going to build a designated space for HIIT training and for functional fitness, where would that space be? Is it indoor? Is it outdoor? Is it a racquetball court? Is it, you know, a 40 by 40 storage closet right now that we may be able to repurpose or reinvent? And I'm having those conversations all the time with people, and they've obviously, you know, a lot of people have had more time to think about that right now. So those are the types of things, if you don't have a functional fitness or a HIIT training space, are you thinking about it, and where would it be? And it's tough right now, I know, for everybody in terms of either being not allowed or finding space, but the time will come when we're all gonna, you know, it's gonna be back, and we're gonna be running those programs again. So, you know, with Josh and I, if you're looking at some space like that, we can design it for you. We can help give you ideas, even if it's years off.
Does anybody else have any other kind of questions or anything you want to discuss at this point? No. Any closing remarks? Anything, Robbie? Oh, sorry, you're on mute.
No, thank you guys. I'm looking forward to talking about virtual programming. We've got 2 options for that people are pursuing, but I'm really, you know, it's been interesting. I follow a lot of my institutions on Twitter and social media, and it's really neat to see what everybody's doing. Whether they're putting out, you know, virtual classes or exercises on Instagram. And I think everybody's just finding their way individually, but it's really neat to see the pivot that everybody's made to be able to get to this point and then, you know, continue it. And we're certainly here to help, whether it's with functional fitness, virtual programming, or just, you know, facility plans moving into the future. But I guess 11 o'clock tomorrow, or 10 o'clock maybe, 10 o'clock, we're going to do a virtual discussion, right?
Correct. Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for everybody for joining. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.
Thank you, guys.